Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be working on Big 7, a division strategy. Why is it called Big 7? Well, because it looks like a big 7 when you write it out. So remember we did dividend, divisor, and quotient in a little jingle, which goes like this. Dividend, divisor, quotient, cha-cha. Dividend and divisor go before the equal sign, and then the quotient / the remainder go after the equal sign. All right, well, here's our dividend that goes right there. Our divisor goes on this side of the 7, and then on the bottom, you'll be writing your quotient and your remainder. So let's look at what an example of this will look like. We have 75 divided by 6, and we are trying to do the Big 7 method with this. So here is how we start. First, we think about how many 6s can fit into 75. This is actually pretty similar to how we do the area model. So with this one, we do how many 6s go into 75. We have our friendly numbers down here in the orange. So we can look at these friendly numbers to multiply by our 6 to see if we can get any closer to 75 than ones we try. So let's try 6 times 1. Let's start with the first friendly number. 6 times 1, well, that's 6. That's nowhere near 75. So let's hop down here to our 10s. Let's try 6 times 10. Well, 6 times 10 is 60. That's pretty close to 75. So I'm going to go with that one. Over here, I'm going to write my equation, which is 6 times 10. And then I am going to write the answer to that, which is 60. Now, the number of 6s that I just took out of 75 is 10, right? So we need to keep track of that by putting a little box around that. That's an important number. We're going to be adding the amount of 6s that we've taken out in the end. So now what we're going to do is move on. We're going to write that down here. We've got 60 down here underneath the 75 because we multiplied 6 times 10 and we got 60. All right, 75 minus 60. Let's do that. 75 minus 60 is 15. So I'm going to write my number down here. 15 is the amount of numbers that we need to pull 6 out of now. We need to pull 6 out of 15. So we wrote our 60 down, we subtracted, and in order to stay organized, we're going to draw this line actually all the way across here. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next step. The next step is how many 6s can fit into this 15 that we have here. We just have this 15. We're trying to figure out how many 6s are in that 15. We already figured out how many is in 60. Now we need to figure out how many is in 15 because 60 plus 15 is 75. All right, so let's get down to business. We've got 6 going into 15. How many times does it go in? Well, 6 times one of our friendly numbers down here actually is 2. 6 times 2 is 12, which is really close to 15. So I'm going to use that friendly number. So 6 times 2 equals 12. And remember, we are going to put a box around that 2 because that's the next number of 6s that we're pulling out. Remember, we're pulling out 6s one by one. Why are we doing that? Because division is repeated subtraction. So we are literally just subtracting 6 as many times as we can from 70. And in this case, it's a lot. All right, so we pulled that out. Now it's time for us to put that box around the 2, okay? And then we are going to move on to the next step, which is to write the answer, which is 12. Okay, I'm writing the 12 here. And then I'm going to subtract over here. All right, 15 minus 12, I know that's 3. Okay, and I'm going to extend my line to make sure I stay organized. And the difference is smaller than the divisor because 3 is smaller than 6. So that's what we call a remainder. In this case, it's a remainder. So I want to bring attention to a couple of things over here. Why are we putting boxes over here? Because we are going to now see how many 6s we pulled out total. First, we pulled out 10 6s. Then we pulled out 2 6s. So 10 plus 2 is 12. So we know our final answer is 12 with a remainder of this 3 right here. So our final answer is 12 with a remainder of 3. We can write that 12R3. I also wanted to bring attention to these over here. These are partial products over on this side. These are the parts, and they're also products, which is why they're called partial products. They're not whole products. They are part of this right here. So we've got 10 and 2 being partial products. All right, thank you for listening. I hope that helped, and I hope you have